If you've ever created the perfect morning routine only to abandon it 2 weeks later, this episode's for you. So by the end of this episode, we are going to walk you through how to create routines that actually stick, because they're going to be regulating your nervous system and nourishing you as opposed to draining your energy. So welcome back, guys, to another episode of Twofold. If you are anything like us, which I think that you are, you may be, kind of a type A girly, and you may spend a ton of time perfecting your perfect morning routine, and then you find out this routine actually stresses you out more than it nourishes you, and you completely abandon it. So we're going to walk you through our experience with this and how we've come to create routines that we actually stay consistent with, because that's the most important thing in creating a routine, whether it's with your workout, your mindset, the food that you eat. The most important thing is consistency. And if you're creating something that's too stressful for you, you're never going to stay consistent.
Yeah, okay, so let's first just dive in with morning routines, because I have definitely been there. I've created this very elaborate morning routine, and then, a week or two later, I would be stressed about it because I was rushing around trying to do all of my, sorry.
It's funny.
It is, it really is, to think back at some of the some of the little routines that I had created for myself. But what I've come to realize, it's about carving out, it doesn't have to be the same every single day. It's about carving out a moment for yourself where you can get really grounded and connected to yourself. And that doesn't mean that you have to hit all of the things, right? What I have found, though, that really helps me is getting outside, getting a little bit of sunlight right when I wake up, having a moment without my phone. By the way, I've learned to sleep with my phone in the other room. I try not to look at it first thing in the morning, and that just creates such a sense of peace within me. And then doing some kind of, stillness, writing in a journal, reading something, just a moment really that I can have to myself. And that loose structure, I find I can repeat anywhere, I can bring with me anywhere. And then on the days when I feel like adding in a few more fun things, whether that be, a red light or other things, I can, but it's not a need that I have in order to kind of have a good start to my day.
Yeah, I think the key is creating a routine that's flexible, in the sense that you're doing the same things, but the time that you do each thing can differ. So whether you're traveling, whether you're really pressed for time, you can still do your morning routine. And then if you wake up and you have a lot of extra time, you can stretch it out and have like an hour morning routine. Because the truth is, I used to wake up so stressed that if I was out of bed like a minute later than I wanted to be, I would just be like, my whole morning routine is ruined. I'm stressed. Like literally, it would tear me apart. And I've realized that was worse than not having a morning routine at all, because I would literally wake up with stress just coursing through my body. And let's just say, like, your cortisol is already higher in the morning. So if you're then stressed about your morning routine, it's just through the roof, and that's really not how you want to set the tone for the day. So for me, the biggest things that I've learned in the morning are waking up at the same time every day, or within 30 minutes to an hour, ideally, but your body really thrives on rhythm. And so when you can wake up and go to bed consistently at the same time, that's huge. Like Annabelle said, staying off of your phone in the morning, it's so huge. There's so many different reasons why the phone can hijack your whole morning, but that doesn't mean like you can't look at it. I think I also used to be super rigid with that. Yeah, you can open it and just make sure that there's nothing life or death. Like, we all have family, we have friends, we want to make sure, but just, look, make sure everything's good, but then don't engage with your phone, right? Like, don't go through your emails, don't start replying to Slacks, don't start texting people. Like, it's okay to look, but don't really engage. Hydration. Huge key. You guys, when you're sleeping, your body's literally dehydrated. Like, think about it. You have not had water for 8 to some people 10 hours, ideally. Like, you haven't had water, your body is dehydrated. So go hydrate. I always think it helps to make it fun. Put some salt in there, put some lemon, put some electrolytes, like put your creatine, whatever it is that you like to do to make it fun, and make it be something that you enjoy, because then you'll stay consistent with it. So I'll just share what I do in case you were curious, but I love to put my mineral salts and lemon, or I'll do electrolytes, and I take all of my supplements in the morning, and like, it's this fun little routine for me that I look forward to every day. Then the next thing is sunlight is super important, because it regulates your hormones and your circadian rhythm. So getting sunlight in first thing in the morning is actually going to impact how well you sleep later that night. Like, people don't put it together. Your body is working on a clock here, girls. So sunlight first thing in the morning, for me, it's really helpful. I have a dog, so I have to get outside, and not only am I getting sunlight, but I'm also getting movement, and you're waking up your body, you're getting blood flow, you're energizing your body. So I think a lot of people think like I used to literally wake up and be like, the first thing I need to do is work out, and that would stress me out, and I would feel rushed, and I'd move through the workout, and it would just create stress in my body. So all of this is just to mention you would have a double shot of espresso before your workout as well on an empty stomach.
Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy. I look back and I just shake my head. But getting outside, getting sunlight, walking slowly, you're still getting movement. Like, that walk counts as movement. And then I do think, like Annabelle said, on some mornings when I'm pressed for time, I'm maybe not sitting down and doing a 10-minute meditation. Ideally, I would every single day. It makes me feel really, really good. But I can't every day. And so if I can't, it's just taking a few deep breaths. And for me, what I've learned that helps me the best is creating slowness in the morning, because I'm a naturally kind of anxious, hyped up person. I get very overstimulated. And so I need to slow my body down and not have a sense of urgency. And also, one other thing is getting up earlier and creating, like, you don't have to feel rushed in the morning if you just wake up earlier. Like, if you know that you feel stressed and rushed in the morning, guys, set your alarm clock 30 minutes earlier to give yourself a little bit of a buffer so that you're not stressed and running around like a chicken with your head cut off.
I truly think back to the days that I used to have to leave for the airport early in the morning, and I would wake up, I kid you not, 30 minutes before I had to leave for the airport. I had not packed. I truly, it stresses me out even just thinking about it now. But all this to say too is that discipline is meant to be a form of devotion, right? It's not meant to be something that is rigid and you have to adhere to. It's meant to be actually, in love to your higher self and to what's going to make you feel good. And I think if you can shift that in your mind, it allows the discipline to carry you through the moments when you don't want to, and you're not willpowering, like white knuckling your way through it. Oh, I have to do this. You're doing it actually because it makes you feel good and you have figured out the things that work for you and that really support you. So I think that little mindset shift can go a long way.
This is one of my favorite lines, and it's that the body loves predictability, but it hates perfectionism. So your body thrives off of predictability because that's what makes you feel safe. That's true for everybody, but obviously it's a scale, like for some people more than others. For me especially, and for a lot of girls who are type A, they're really rigid with their workouts, their food, maybe they're perfectionists, maybe they have a little OCD in there. I see you. Your body does thrive off of predictability, and that can come from a routine, especially a morning and an evening routine, just because it really anchors your day. But it hates perfectionism. So when you try to be too perfect, maybe that looks like doing all the things in the morning, it causes you to stress. Your body doesn't like that. Or like if you miss a thing, or if you miss a day, or whatever it is, don't hold yourself to this perfect, rigid routine, because that's actually backfiring and it's causing a lot more stress in your body than just saying, oops, I missed a day, or oops, I did not crush it today, but I can still show up today and give my body predictability and safety.
I think too, all this is to say that, having that structure is there to allow you to connect with yourself, right? And I think a lot of people are talking about embodiment and all these things, and what does that actually mean, right? And only through having some sense of structure that allows you to have moments of quiet throughout the busy day and kind of just taking a few deep breaths, that will allow you to actually experience in your body what that feels like and get connected to yourself and learn how to trust your intuition and develop a connection with yourself. So, having that framework in which you have those moments to connect with yourself can be really powerful for learning, what embodiment means to you.
Yeah, and then I also want to talk about micro moments of nourishment and routine as well, because I think everyone is so focused on their morning routine and their evening routine for good reason, because again, they anchor your day, and I absolutely am a huge proponent of these. But, if you don't have a perfect morning routine right now, or if you miss it, don't let that derail you. There are so many moments in the day where you can add in little micro moments of nourishment, and that can look like At 2 p.m., getting outside for a quick 5 to 10 minute walk. That can look like, it's the middle of the day, it's 3 or 4, and I'm going to do like a quick meditation. Or if I don't have time for that, I'm going to just take 3 deep breaths and hold my hand on my heart and my belly and just tell myself I'm safe. Or, maybe that looks like going and making yourself a really yummy snack in the middle of the day and really romanticizing it and sitting down and enjoying it slowly. So there are tons of ways to add in really nourishing things throughout your day. And honestly, I don't think it works if you have the perfect morning routine and the perfect evening routine, but the whole middle of your day, the whole rest of your day is nothing but stress and urgency and all these other negative things. How much are those routines really benefiting you? So I think it's a lot better to ease off the gas pedal, let go of control a little bit, and just focus on consistently adding in these nourishing moments throughout your day. Again, these routines are not meant to stress you out, and they're not meant to be so rigid. They're really meant to be flexible.
I think too, in that flexibility, there's the idea of the bounce back, right? So your day is not going to go perfectly. And I have had experiences where, my day is going well, and then a thought will come or something will kind of come that makes me feel a bit off. And I can either choose to let that take me, and it can go in a very negative direction very quickly, or I can come back into my body. And those little micro moments that Caroline was just speaking about are really, really helpful to actually change your physical state that bring you back into your body. And even just 3 minutes where you listen to something inspiring or you change your state internally can completely redirect your day. And so it's just always coming back and returning to your body and that presence. And I think there's something to be said as well for just being really honest with yourself and recognizing, are your routines actually supporting you, or are they things that you're using as a way to, create a false sense of safety when underneath there's a lot of self-doubt, you don't actually trust yourself, and there's a lot of noise, right? And the only way that you can actually reconnect to yourself is letting go of some of that really, really rigid, structure and learning to flow a little bit. And that doesn't have to always look perfect, right? And that's part of the learning process, is having a bit of compassion for yourself when you do fall off track. And nobody's going to be perfect all day throughout the entire day. It's your ability to reconnect with yourself and then make the next right choice.
Yeah, I think it's Gabby Bernstein who says, choose again. And at any moment, that sort of mantra is available to you to choose again. So like Annabelle said, if a negative thought kind of throws you off your day, or you didn't do your morning routine, or you're just kind of feeling all over the place, you get to say, I choose again. And it's literally like a reset for you in that moment. It's never too late to add in a nourishing micro moment at any point in your day. And I just realized we've spent so much time talking about morning routines, but let's quickly dive into evening routines before we wrap this up. I think with evening routines, the biggest thing is going to be screen time. This is something I've struggled with because I like to watch TV at night because it's a way for me to wind down. And I am happy to share that I have recently found a way to do both, because TV is a way that relaxes me. And I think the biggest thing in the evening is to switch off from that work mode, that really engaged mental mode, to relaxing. And TV is something that relaxes me, but the screens, the blue light is such an issue. And investing in a pair of really good blue light blocking glasses is such a game changer. So I used to kind of think that they were like bullshit and didn't really work, because I ordered a really cheap pair off of Amazon. They were the ones that were like clear, just like clear glasses, and they claimed to be blue light blocking glasses, and they did absolutely nothing. And I
still have those.
Do you? So I recently invested in a really high quality pair, and it is an investment, but I use the ones from Bond Charge. This isn't like sponsored or anything at all, believe me. I just really, really love these blue light glasses. My boyfriend and I both use them, and at 7 o'clock religiously, when the clock strikes 7, we put these things on. And like, we watch TV with them. It's a bit of an adjustment because the screen obviously looks red, but these glasses are like actually red, and they literally filter out all the blue light. So it is a bit of an adjustment, but you adjust so quickly. It's been the biggest game changer. Like, he can even work closer to bed. I can watch TV. It really is a game changer. And when you start doing it consistently, you'll see your sleep will transform. So I think in the evening, the biggest thing to be aware of is letting your body like transition from like day work mode, giving yourself enough of a runway. There's a metaphor I read that was about like an airplane. Like the plane literally can't land if it doesn't have a long enough runway. And it's the same thing with sleep. You can't switch off into sleep mode if you don't have a long enough runway to come down and to calm down. So that's sort of the biggest thing. That can look different for everybody, but I do think the screen thing is really, really huge. Another thing, I drink magnesium at night, magnesium glycinate religiously. It's really good for like muscle relaxation. It's really, really good for sleep. It's really good for female hormones, especially around your period. But I drink it every night and I've noticed that that really helps my sleep as well. And then for me, I love to do something like meditative, breath work, something faith-based, just to like really calm my mind and my nervous system before bed. What about you, Belle? What's your evening routine?
I mean, I love all of those. I do think also on the screen time thing, it is just sleeping with your phone in a different room, I think is so, it allows you to associate your room with rest, right? And then one other thing that I do that I think, okay, it has great anti-inflammatory effects. I love to lie and put my legs up the wall before I go to sleep. But I think another thing is that it actually triggers to my mind, it's time to go to bed, because it's such a habit now that my brain associates my legs up the wall with sleep. So I literally lie there for 10 minutes. Sometimes I read, sometimes I just kind of think about the day, and I have my legs up the wall, and then I swing around, I lie down, and I kid you not, my sleep is so dialed now, I am out within 5 minutes, sometimes even less than that. And I think just kind of having those small little things that go with me when I travel and just prime my body to say, okay, it's time to go to bed now, are really, really helpful.
I love that. I need to be better about legs up the wall because it's so good for your lymphatic system as well, and just like draining out all of the fluid and the stress and the inflammation from the day. I love that. And the biggest thing I think in all of this, just to wrap it up with morning routines, with evening routines, the biggest thing is consistency. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be elaborate, but it does have to be consistent in order for you to start seeing results. I've noticed that sometimes I'll do, when I really fall off of a routine, and then I do it once or twice thinking like, I should feel better. Like I should be good now. It really takes consistency in order to see and feel results. And that is why it's so important that your routines are not too rigid, that they do have flexibility, because that's what allows you to stay consistent. It's the same exact thing with our twofold move method and what we talk about in how to exercise. And that's why we're such a fan of short 30-minute workouts, and workouts that don't leave you absolutely depleted and needing a week. Like I have a friend who every time she goes to Pilates, she's like, I'm so sore, for a week I can't work out. And I'm like, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing if one workout makes you so sore that you don't work out for a week, because there's no consistency. And the way to see results, whether it's food, whether it's exercise, whether it's routines, mindset, meditation, it all comes down to consistency.
Yeah, at the end of the day, your wellness is meant to fit into your life. It's not meant to be your life. So just find what works for you, give it a try. And I think too, sticking with one thing and seeing how it actually affects your life can be a much more powerful approach than trying to throw the whole kitchen sink at it. And, it's just very overwhelming then, and it's very hard to have consistency.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll leave you guys there. Let us know in the comments if there's anything else you want us to talk about, and we will see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.